So, have you written your tests? Let me share my tests with you. And for this, I prepared a validation.test.js file, which you also find attached to this lecture. Now in there I have a bunch of tests. If you have fewer tests or different tests, that's totally normal. And I have a bunch of tests in there that do different things I mentioned before throughout this section. Now if I run them, they will actually fail. And I'm doing this on purpose. If you only wrote tests that pass, that makes a lot of sense because I did not prompt you to write failing tests or to change any functions here in validation.js. But I added one failing test here because I came up with one scenario where I would want to change validation.js, one of these functions in there, because some scenario is not really covered by the functions in here right now. And it's this test here. Should throw an error if a non-numeric value is provided. Validate number, in the end, takes a number and it simply checks if it's maybe not a number, in which case it throws an error. But what if I pass in a number like this, which is theoretically a number, but it's actually a string? Well, in that case, I would like to have validate number throw an error, because this really isn't a number. Maybe you would be fine if this kind of value is accepted, but I want to get an error if I try to pass in a string number. And therefore, what you could do in here in validate number is you could change this check here, and you could throw this error if the number that's received is not a number, or if the type of number, so the type of this argument that's received, is not equal to number. So if we get a number that is this special NaN value, or if we get an argument which type is not number, then I want to throw this error because then we have an invalid number, I would argue. And with this added here, all my tests do pass again. Again, I do not expect that you added this because I did not prompt you to change this function. I also do not expect you to add a test like this. Maybe, however, you added other tests which detect other flaws with the current function implementations. That would be great as well. This is now my solution here for this file though. And with this solution, I now want to dive into another important aspect of testing and of organizing our tests in the next lecture.